I think my eating issues definitely started after my stabbing, and they were magnified after my father was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and then probably the points of the pressures of the job, figuring out my own identity, and I think learning to let go of things. For some other reason, I felt weird that I couldn't control a simple thing like eating, and I was so in control when you'd watch me on the tennis court, but yet what I put in my mouth, I had zero control, and I was kind of embarrassed by it because everybody viewed me as a super strong mentally athlete. So because of that, I probably kept it, much more hidden than looking back at it now. I would have maybe done a few things differently. I never thought about quitting. For me, where the big wake-up call came is in 2003 when unfortunately I had a terrible foot injury and I had to be in a cast for about almost 4 months. And I was turning 30, which in tennis is a big word because you're playing against 16 to 18-year-old girls. And I was 35 pounds overweight. And here I am. My foot is going to be in a cast. I'm already 35 pounds overweight. I'm turning 30. I'm just worried I'm going to gain another 35 pounds. And what's going to happen? And wherever I would go in terms of like press conference, they always would say, oh my God, why don't you just get control of your weight? You would be, you play so much better, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, I call it, that was my big wow moment when I said, you know what? I've got to look inward. And that was the first time in my life that I was left to my own devices. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a trainer. And I took some time to quiet my mind. For me, that took a lot of inner work to come to grips with my stabbing, my father's death, and my career finishing, finding my own identity besides a tennis player. So I went through a lot of changes. But once I realized that change had to happen inside, my weight started dropping. It really came out after a few talks I've given to different women's groups. And the first question was, oh my God, how did you lose the weight? You look great. And then after, are you ever going to play tennis again, or are you retiring? So I figured, gosh, everybody's commenting about my weight and they all want to know the secret. Right. Well, once I told them there's really no secret. It's a way that I live life. It's part of my lifestyle. And I really wanted to share that because I mentioned in my book, I struggle with this for over 9 years. It's something very close to my heart. The amounts that I was eating were really not good for anybody to do, and that definitely showed in my weight. And also I think my career ended up being cut short because of it, because when you lug around 37 extra pounds playing at a world-class level, you have more injuries, and unfortunately that became true in my case, and I had to retire because of foot injury. And yeah, people are going to judge me how I look. Unfortunately, when I was heavier, people judge me differently. But one thing I do say now, I'm happy that I was heavier at some point in my life. I wish, it wasn't during my tennis career, but I got to learn a lot about myself. And, people treated me differently, and that was hard to take. But at the same point, when you sign up to be a tennis player and at such a level, you sign up for that criticism, and that comes with the territory.